For the past 5 years, James Harden has been the best shooting guard in the NBA. And before that, it was Kobe. And in today's video, we are going to try to predict the top 10 shooting guards in the year 2025. Before we start, I wanted to quickly say two things. First, go check out the point guards video. I released it about a week ago, and so go check that video out. It is part 1 of the series. And the second thing I wanted to say is Luka Doncic will not be making an appearance in this video because, according to basketballreference.com, he was a point guard this season, so I have him in the point guard video. So before you guys say in the comments that Luka's not on this list, I just want to say that it's because he's a point guard, not a shooting guard. First, let's go over some honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is James Harden, followed by Klay Thompson, Caris LeVert, RJ Barrett, and Paul George. At number 10, I have Zach LaVine. And if you have him at number 8 or 9, that's okay because I think he is interchangeable with the players I have at number 8 or 9, but I'm giving the slight edge to those players because Zach LaVine, I think, has already reached his peak or is very close to it, and he's not that good on the defense. Well, actually, he's horrible on the defensive end. But he is a tremendous athlete, and he's a very good shooter, which makes him one of the best scorers at this position. And because of that, I think he deserves the number 10 spot. Also, one more thing. I know this isn't related to the video, but Billy Donovan has just become the coach of the Chicago Bulls. I didn't expect that at all. That's crazy. So that has nothing to do with this video, but, I mean, it happened right as I was recording this video, so I wanted to put it in here. Yeah, that's crazy. At the number 9 spot, I have Anthony Edwards. And if you don't agree, I totally understand. Anthony Edwards is not going to be nearly as efficient as Zach LaVine. He's also not as good at scoring in every single way. Zach LaVine's better than him at scoring in every single way. But the reason why I am putting him above Zach LaVine is because I think Anthony Edwards could be a great defender, and he is still going to be around a 20-point per game scorer, even though he's not going to be efficient, and he's not going to be as good as Zach LaVine on that end. I think his defense is going to make up for that, so I'm giving the slight edge to Anthony Edwards over Zach LaVine. Also, Anthony Edwards is one of 2 players that aren't already in the NBA that are on this list. At number 8, I have Colin Sexton, and I have him slightly over Anthony Edwards and Zach LaVine, and I'm going to explain that. So, while Colin Sexton isn't as good of a scorer as Zach LaVine right now, he still averaged 20 points per game in his second season, and he is obviously not at his peak yet, while Zach LaVine is pretty much at his peak already. So I think Colin Sexton is going to be better than Zach LaVine in 5 years. And the reason why I have him above Anthony Edwards is, while Anthony Edwards is probably going to be a much better defender than Colin Sexton's still going to be like a slightly below average defender, while Zach LaVine is going to be a horrible defender. And also, Colin Sexton, I think he's going to be like a Bradley Beal type player, where he's going to be a very efficient 30-point per game scorer type of player. And I think he's going to be better than Anthony Edwards throughout his career. But if you want to have him below Zach LaVine or Anthony Edwards, I think that's totally fine and isn't really that big of a deal. At number 7, I have Jalen Green. Jalen Green is the second and final player on this list that isn't already in the NBA, and he is going to be in next year's draft. Jalen Green will be 23 in the year 2025, and I think he's going to be the best shooting guard in the league by the year 2030. But since he's only going to be 23 in the year 2025, he won't be in his prime yet, and that's why he's only at number 7. Jalen Green has been getting a lot of Kobe comparisons, which are absolutely insane, but I think he is going to be a elite offensive shooting guard that averages about 23 points per game. At his peak, I think he could average 30 a game, but in 2025, I think he's going to average about 23 points per game, play elite defense and be an all-star caliber player. At number 6, I have Bradley Beal, who has just entered his prime this year, and I think he'll be at the same level at like a 27 to 30 point per game scorer 5 years from now. Right now, I'd say he's around the 4 or 5 range, maybe 6 range in the current shooting guard standings, and that's why I have him 5 years from now. I don't expect much to change with Bradley Beal, as he will be at the end of his prime, and I think he'll still be at the exact same level or something very close to it 5 years from now. At number 5, I have Tyler Hero, and 5 years from now, he'll be entering his prime, like the very beginning of it. So I expect him to average from 27 to 30 points per game and to play pretty good defense while being one of the clutchest players in the league, because that's what his projection looks like right now, as he's been very good in the playoffs as well as throughout the season in his rookie year. And I expect him to keep getting better and reach an all-star, maybe all-NBA level. At number 4, I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai had a very good second year this past season, and I expect him to keep getting better. I think he'll be a very good defensive guard that's a really good playmaker and is a very good slasher and is very athletic with a decent jump shot. So I think he will be an all-NBA caliber player, and you could, he's pretty interchangeable with the player I have at number 3, but I'm giving that player the slight edge because that player is Jaylen Brown. And while Shai is definitely going to be a much better playmaker than Jaylen Brown, I think Jaylen Brown is going to make up with that, because while Shai is going to be really good at defense, Jaylen Brown is going to be elite at defense. And while Shai is going to be a pretty good slasher, Jaylen Brown is going to be an elite slasher. And while Shai is going to be a decent shooter, Jaylen Brown is going to be an elite shooter. You'll see, even though Shai is a better playmaker than Jaylen Brown and will be a much better playmaker than him at that time, Jaylen Brown is around average at playmaking, but he's elite at everything else, while Shai's just going to be good at it. So because of that, I'm giving Jaylen Brown the slight edge, but Shai's playmaking might be enough to outweigh the gap in everything else Jaylen Brown does compared to him. But in my opinion, Jaylen Brown is going to be better than Shai, but if you think it's the other way around, I can see why you think that way. At number 2, I have Devin Booker, and I think Devin Booker is going to be around a 33 to 35 point per game scorer in his prime, and I know that sounds insane, but I honestly think that Devin Booker can reach that type of level. And the only reason I don't have him at number 1 is because he's only going to be an average defender at best, and the number 1 guy is going to be a very good defender. At number 1, I have Donovan Mitchell, and while Devin Booker is going to be a better scorer than Donovan Mitchell is going to be much more athletic and way better at defense, and because of that, I'm giving Donovan Mitchell the slight edge, but they are very close in talent. So yeah, that's it for the video. Don't forget to check out the point guard video if you haven't already, and also don't forget to subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and also comment down below what video you think I should do next. Anyways, that's it, so bye.